has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, the broken day, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fucking shake it up, along with the original OG, the gangster of golf, the tater, and, of course, Tutty King himself, Carver High this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke, I am your father. The rundown on a Misery Monday. Morency, a double shot from Vancouver. You can catch him on Sports Rage every night at 10. And, of course, in the second hour, Matt Murschel of the Orlando Sentinel, our national college football writer. And in that second hour as well, Coach James Young, our hoop analyst, talking WNBA. Caitlin Clark lighting it up yesterday. And then in the final hour, John DeShazer of the NewOrleansSaints.com, senior writer, talking about the Saints with the beatdown of the Cowboys in Dallas at Jerry's World on Sunday, Carver High. I mean, they scored the first 6 times that they had the football, and I think they were all tutties. And then the other thing is, I saw it today, frankly, the overreaction to it. I turned on, ESPN. I was getting ready, doing some things, going to the gym, this and that. I had it on, and they were literally at the top of their show. They were talking about it at 8 a.m, and they had like Rex Ryan and our boy Damian Woody or whatever talking about it, and that horrible quarterback that's on there. I forget his name. He was so horrible. But they have this conversation about the Cowboys, and it was it a bad loss, or was it more troubling than that, or deeper than that, or and they literally talked about it like the world had ended, like that it was Armageddon,
right?
Like literally the end of time, and I mean we were all abolished from the earth, like that their season was over. And that they're never going to recover from it. And I sat there and no one was in the room. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like, this is the NFL. Like, teams lose every week. You have no clue. I've said this 5 million times. You have no clue who's going to win any game in the NFL. People think they have all the answers on this network and everywhere else. It doesn't matter where they are on TV, radio, fans, women, children, men, dogs, cats, priests, rabbis. No one knows who's winning an NFL game. They just think they know. You think you know who's going to win every game. You have no effing clue who's winning an NFL game. And if you get your ass beat one day, it's the end of the world? Give me a break. Oh, what's next? Let me guess. The Bengals and Ravens are never going to win another game because they're 0-2, Mike.
Happy Monday, Scotty, indeed. Yes, happy Monday. Hope you enjoyed Pain Day. Yeah, we'll start there. And you know why they do that at 8 o'clock this morning, because those are the logs to throw on the fire to get everybody gassed up about the Cowboys, because they are one of those. They're a marquee franchise, Scotty, in sports, and everybody either loves or hates the Cowboys. It's funny. It's more about the Cowboys losing than it should be about the fact that the Saints have scored, 44-plus points in both of their games, and they're 2-0. I know one thing. We said a lot of bad things about the Saints coming into this season. I still don't think their coach is that great. But I'll tell you what I didn't have on my bingo card, Scotty, them being an offensive juggernaut. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Them scoring 44-plus points in the first 2 games of the season and smashing the Cowboys in Dallas. So maybe that's a team we got to keep our eyes on. But we got to remember, the Falcons have already won the NFC South. So the Saints just shouldn't even. The Falcons have already won the NFC South, so we don't need to even try that. You've already won it.
Now
already won the South.
Now listen, tonight they play at the Link where they have stripper poles and brisket in the parking lot. I just wanted to say that I have no clue who's going to win that game. But you would think I'll bet my life 90% of the people think it's the Eagles and that they'll cover, and everyone's a genius on Tuesdays. But I have no clue who's going to win. But if the Eagles lose, what I think they should do is blame Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott.
Well, I know one thing. You look at the points. I mean, it was in the 6 area the other day. Now it's at 5.5. The dogs have been barking, right? I mean, look at all weekend. You talk about the dogs have been barking, and the heavy spreads have even been barking outright, right? I mean, outright. Between last week and this week. Yesterday you had it again. I mean, the Vikings outright, Raiders outright. You know, these teams are winning outright, Scotty, with the big number. So 5.5, 6 tonight for Atlanta. I mean, feels like you got to take it, right?
Only the mighty and powerful, like the Steelers, covered the spread on Sunday.
Well,
only the mighty.
Steelers have started the season 2-0, but it's a very impressive 2-0, Scotty. I know they only scored 1 touchdown in the 2 games combined, but when you go on the road in the NFL and you start your season, your first 2 games of the season on the road, and you're coming back home and you haven't played a home game yet and you're 2-0, that's a hell of a start to your year, especially when everybody told us that this is Steelers are done, this is going to be the year, Tomlin doesn't get his over 500 record again, but they're 2-0 and they haven't played a home game yet. That's a hell of a start for them.
You remember them when their number was 7.5, and they're 6 wins from that. There's 6 wins.
6 wins,
and there's 15 games left.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a great start for them. Now look, do they need to do a little bit more offensively?
The
sure.
Bills and Steelers in the AFC title game.
Hey, from your lips to God's ears, if we could get that far, that would be outstanding.
God is clearly a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, I mean, you look at we're only 2 weeks in,
and
but
Jesus
the AFC,
is a
right?
Notre Dame fan. Obviously, they've turned it around with a 66 for the Devil on Saturday at Ross A.
Well, that's a typical. Let me go be a bully after my team. Absolutely, yacked all over themselves the week before. Let me go bully Purdue and West Lafayette. Suddenly, the Irish are a very focused football team.
This week,
that'll be another. But they've already had that. They won't, because they've already had the moment now. You see, now you have that thing where every week Freeman could walk in the room and go, "You guys lost to Northern Illinois. You better go score 60. I want to see 60-plus points again now this week. Go play bully at home against Miami of Ohio. We shall see. We have so much football to get through from the weekend. Did you like that pass interference call on the Bengals at the end of the Chief game last night, Scott? Did you like that? I got to tell you, he did hit him in the back. I know there's a lot today about Mahomes always gets those calls late in the game. Butker never misses. He was early and on the back. So, I mean, it's not like it wasn't a flag like sometimes we see.
Like, I'm watching a press conference with Burrow right now. Like, what has happened to him? Yeah. What is that thing on his neck? What is that thing? Are they quarters? Nickels? What is that thing on his neck? Like his hair, the frosted tips, and now he's got some chain on that looks like, I don't even know where that's got to be from something like Gucci or Fendi. That thing's the stuff. I'm blinded. I may have to put sunglasses on. He is turning into Drip City. He doesn't care about winning football games. All he cares about is his fame and what he looks like. Well, I'm a little concerned. What is he, Joe Namath? Like, honestly, my man over here trying to get some legs.
Joey Silk.
He's
Joey Silk, man. He's got it all Joey going. Silk. But, so we'll discuss all these games.
I thought it was pass interference.
It was pass interference.
They never lose.
It is just.
But I'll tell you this
they
much.
never lose.
They lost Pacheco. He's done. Don't tell me some guy with a broken leg and ankle ligaments is playing in 4 weeks. Okay, thanks so much.
We'll go through all the games. We've got news from today. The Panthers have already had enough of Bryce Young. They're going to start Andy Dalton this week in Vegas. So Dave Canales already pulling the ripcord on Young. We've got the game tonight. We've got Texas is the new number 1 after Georgia struggled against Kentucky. We have 2 weeks left in the baseball season before we finally hit the playoffs. So there's a lot to do.
My daughter's a better quarterback than Bryce Young.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was Lincoln! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
You can get Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on SportsGrid, on the TV side, on the radio side, on all the streaming networks, TV stations, radio networks, satellite radio, Sirius XM Channel 159. You can catch him on Coast to Coast every day with a double shot live from Vancouver. Gabe, what was your reaction to the wild day of betting in the NFL? And we were talking about, obviously, the Cowboys. We were talking about the Vikings. We were talking about the Raiders. We were talking about the Steelers. And, I don't think it's the end of the world like what I woke up to today hearing that the world had ended because the Cowboys had gotten smoked. But what's your initial reaction to Sunday?
My reaction is very similar to Saturday's, Scott. I think the gap is closed. There's not really much of a difference between teams anymore. Anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday in the college football world, and anybody can beat anybody. We've already known that on any given Sunday, right? We've already known that for years. There are a few exceptions. Carolina obviously struggling right now, but especially early in the season too, Scott. Teams aren't ready yet. They don't play that much in the preseason, then they pay the price for it. It's like a sacrifice. They're worried about injury in the preseason, and then their teams aren't ready to go in the first couple of weeks of the season. I'll tell you what, 0-2 used to be the kiss of death. You weren't making the playoffs. It's like, 8% chance, 9% chance of making the playoffs if you start the season 0-2. Now with a 17-game schedule, there's a little bit more leeway, but it gets late early, as Yogi Berra once stated, Scott. These teams, it's like baseball, right? When a team will blow a game in May or something, and it's like, well, you know what, it's okay. Well, that game counts every bit as much as the games do on September the 18th and 19th when you're desperate for games. The NFL, there's not a lot of room for error, right? So if you start off the season with a couple losses, you could really bury yourselves. But the dogs have been barking so far this year. And you know what, Scott? Baltimore were the most, in week one, Cincinnati was the most popular survivor pick. How did they lose? There's no way in hell they lose to the New England Patriots. Yesterday, the most popular pick was the Baltimore Ravens over the Raiders. And
then
what happened? I knew coming in. And what happened? Well, they had a 10-point lead. That's what I'm saying.
But how many people lost in the Survivor?
Another 4,000 were knocked out Another 24% that were still alive got knocked out. Scott, it's already down like 70% have been knocked out already. And we're going into week 3. We're going into week 3.
You're
it's
doing
insane.
great.
I survived. I had the Houston Texans last night, so I lived to fight another week, Scott.
Nice. Well, that was a tough game as well. They didn't cover against the Bears. And the Bears, I thought Caleb Williams played, again, crappy.
Yeah, you know what? It's a learning process for him. People expect too much in people's first games, let alone people expect too much in the first year, let alone first games. He's adapting to the speed of the National Football League, learning what he can and can't do. But I'll tell you what, that Bear defense is pretty dangerous, man. They gave Houston all that they can handle. Like CJ, they did not, have an easy time moving the football. There was a couple of plays that they made, but the Bears, the Bears are going to be a 500 type of caliber team, and it'll be a learning experience for Caleb Williams. I think he'll be fine. But I tell you what, man, and you mentioned the New Orleans Saints going into Dallas. I was really surprised, Scott. Only 259 people in the Circa Survivor took the Dallas Cowboys. That really shocked me. Like, I expected a lot more people, considering the Cowboys had won 16 consecutive home games in the regular season. We should note they lost to the Packers in the playoffs, but 16 straight consecutive home games. They don't lose at home very often, but early in the season, you can catch them off guard.
Well, the last 2 home games was the Packers. They gave up 48, and then yesterday they gave up 44. I don't think it's the end of the world. To me, it's you can lose any game in the NFL every time you step on the field. I don't think people have a clue, as I said, who's going to win a game. It's so dangerous betting. I bet on 2 games yesterday in Vegas with my Vegas accounts that I have, and I hit them, and it was the Jets and the Buccaneers.
I love the Bucs. I didn't bet the Jet game, and unfortunately, we're going to have to watch the Jets and the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. We get our first game. The primetime games have been pretty good.
I think it'll be better than most people think because the Patriots have stunned me the last 2 weeks.
They're another one, Scott, in which if you play fundamental football, you run the ball. Listen, the Patriots could have won that game. They had a field goal block, but it ended up being a push with the point spread. But the Patriots have been more competitive than people thought. Seattle, Scott, another team. These games, they haven't been pretty, but they've won them both, right? They're just grinding through, and they host Skylar Thompson and the Miami Dolphins this week, so they have a shot of going to 3-0, which leads us into tonight, Scott. Look at Atlanta, how bad they were in week 1 offensively. And listen, defensively, they lost the game, but they didn't give up a touchdown. So you can sort of say, well, their defense didn't play poorly. I don't know what to expect from Kirk Cousins tonight, right? In a similar situation, I didn't really know what to expect from the Chicago Bear offense last night. It was tough to tell after week 1. Atlanta, I guess you figure they'll be better tonight, Scott, but it's kind of a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith, isn't it? And I'm a Kirk Cousins guy. I'm not one of these, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
I agree.
But the thing with Kirk Cousins, Scott, I don't think he's healthy, number one. And if he was, they wouldn't have him under shotgun so much. Kirk Cousins has never really been a shotgun guy, right? Like, rare spots. He's always under center. He's a play action. All of his success is through play action, Kirk Cousins, his entire career. And now you have him under shotgun. He's not comfortable. I don't think he's healthy. So I don't really trust him, to be honest, tonight. I think the Eagles, but we saw last night with the Bears, Scott, and you saw it with the Ravens, you saw it with the Cowboys. It's freaking dangerous, bro. You talked about the Bucs. I was on them too. Great call. It's dangerous, Scott, to lay 5-6 points in this league, bro. There's not a lot of blowouts.
It's just awful. It's awful.
It seems easy. It's like, all right, Philadelphia will beat them. Yeah, they'll beat them by 5. The spread's 5.5. It's one of those deals,
I'm going to the Steeler game this week. I'm flying to Pittsburgh for to watch Orange Sherbert against the Steelers. Justin Herbert. I call him Orange Sherbert. So I'm looking forward to that. But everybody thinks because they're 2-0 that they'll have it in the bag. Meanwhile, he's banged up and hurt, but that guy plays every week. He played with a broken leg. We're back to another Morency style.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
So, disturbing accounts of Saturday night. I was in Vegas and I went out and we were walking on the strip and my buddy and I, and there was 5 million people on the strip. Like, I mean, it was Mexican Independence Weekend. And I mean to tell you, when I tell you there was 5 million people, I mean, I'm not joking. Like, you couldn't move. It was Sardine City. So I'm walking by the T-Mobile Arena and I see this guy. He's like 5'5", and his buddy's holding him up with his arm. He's so inebriated. This guy, there was a concert at the T-Mobile Arena, a Mexican concert, and he was holding up this little dude, and he was just absolutely hammered. And I was like, with my buddy, I go, yo, look at this dude. And then he was wearing beige pants. And as he walked toward me, he was like 30 feet, 20 feet. All of a sudden, I look and I go, oh, what is happening here? We got Niagara Falls. My man was going in his beige pants to the bathroom and had no idea it was happening. It was all evolving rapidly. And I saw the whole thing. And I mean to tell you, I started laughing so hard, I almost fell over and hit a tree. I mean, it was the greatest thing I ever saw. A 5'5" guy going to the bathroom in his pants, in beige pants. Remember, don't wear white after Labor Day. Check out. Ooh.
It's the best thing about Las Vegas, actually. It's a big enabler city if you're a degenerate and you have problems. Because you're never the worst one. You know what I mean? So you can be really bad. You could be standing there, Scott, right? Like, whoa, I'm a little head. You look over, I'm like, well, I'm not that guy. Because there's always someone face first in a fountain. There's always someone taking a leak. You know what I mean? There's always somebody doing something like walking around half naked, crapping themselves. And you're like, well, you know what? I'm not doing that bad. The only times I've said that to myself, I'm like, well, I'm not doing that bad, I guess. All things considering. I might be wasted, but I'm not a full embarrassment yet.
How are you betting this game tonight with the Falcons and that 5.5? And then I want to get your reaction straight up. No disrespect. I think Michigan sucks. I don't think they're good at all. I don't think they're good at all.
I tweeted about it this morning. I'm obviously concerned. This is the game of the year for them, Scott. You know, we were just talking about these NFL teams. like the Steelers. You know what? Michigan are kind of like the Steelers, Scott, in the sense that they've got to grind it out. It ain't going to be pretty. We might not score a touchdown. We've got to find a way to win this game. Keep it low scoring, run the ball, play defense. But it's hard to do that in college football. In the modern era, you get these teams with all this talent, and eventually they're going to score. Scott, it's USC's first real road game. Like, we've got to hope that USC, number one, don't play well, and everything comes together for Michigan. For the record, Scott, they made the change. Davis Warren is out. Alex Orji will be the starting quarterback for them. I think he's more dynamic. I don't understand why he can't throw the ball better. He's been on the team for a couple of years. What the hell have they been teaching him? But, Scott, this is it. Listen, Michigan beat USC on Saturday. They're 3-1. They're back on track. They're going to have some confidence after beating USC, and they can start racking up some wins and move forward from here. They lose this football game, we could be looking at a 4 or 5 loss season. Let's just call it out for what it is. They still play the Oregon Ducks. They still play Ohio State. And Indiana's good, Scott. You're Hoosiers, bro. Yeah. Curtis Rourke's a stud, bro. Telling you, the Hoosiers are for real with Signati coaching there now. They've scored more points in their first 3 games than they have in school history, this team, the Hoosiers, right now. They're the real deal.
Now, listen. So Saturday, before the fight, I was, losing bets left and right. Let's just get real here. I had 4 plays going, and they were disastrous. LSU.
College is whack, man.
Scott, it just went on
I'll
and
go
on.
like 4-0 in college in one block and then 0-5 in the next block. You know what I mean? Oh, look, I just won 4-0, and I'm like, I just lost every pick I made.
I went 0-4. I go 0-4. I get to the fight. The place is packed, 20,000. I'm sitting in the 5th row. My buddy's like, "We need drinks." I go, "Yeah, we do. Let's go." So we go to the bar, and we're standing in line. We get up to the guy, and my buddy goes, "Oh, they only take cards." I go, "Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it." And so we got a water, a Coke, and then I got a double, and it was $75 for 3 drinks. I said,
"How does your friend not know that there's no cash?"
I paid less for dinner. Then I did 3 drinks at the Canelo fight, and I lost 4 bets for $100 each. I was in a hole for $5 bills before the guy threw a punch in the fight. Hey, who do you got tonight? You gonna bet the 5.5 or not?
Give me the Eagle 7-point teaser to the over.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of a week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
apparently Carver High is relaying that the red phone is rang due to my story about the 5'5" guy filling up his pants, not going over well. And also Carver High not approving of the content at this early hour in the afternoon of the start of this show, Ferrall Coast to Coast. No approval from anyone, apparently.
Yeah, that's the kind of story that'll get the red phone ringing. If you want to keep going, that'll get the red phone going if you stay with it. It is only Monday and the first hour of the entire week, so you'd like to at least wait.
Listen,
maybe
I
at
just
least till
want
the
you to know,
third
I thought
hour
it was
before.
fun. It was funny. It was funny.
It was it was fun.
And you didn't have to be there.
You didn't have to be there. Let's start. We got a lot to do here. We'll do Pain Day first, of course, from Sunday before we get to the Eagles and the Falcons tonight at the Link. And you guys were just talking about it. Yes, there has been people out there. I've seen like all the Philly stories on X and everything. There's been people in that parking lot since like 6:15 this morning. They got the grills out, everybody, because they lost their home game last week. They played in Brazil instead of the Link. Yeah. So they are making up for lost time tonight down in Philadelphia. They're going to be gassed up by 8 o'clock tonight when they all get in that building.
You know what happens there. Like that is just an absolute shack show waiting to happen. When you start drinking at 6, 9, noon, 3, 4 o'clock, they won't even make it into the game. They're going to be leaning against a tire by their car, passed out with vomit on them. It never goes well when you show up 8 hours before a game. Like, who are you kidding? Although I told you, brisket and strippers in the parking lot at the Link, a fantastic tailgate experience.
Indeed. All right, let's start with the Chiefs and the Bengals, of course. These two have played a lot of great games over the years, no different than yesterday. 26-25, the Chiefs do end up getting the win. Bengals had a chance, Scotty, late. Chiefs had a 4th and 16 on their own side of the field. Pass by Mahomes, incomplete, but the flag comes out. Pass interference moves the Chiefs into field goal range. I mean, listen, I wouldn't call it no doubt about it field goal range, but it's no doubt about it when Harrison Butker's your kicker and the guy absolutely never misses when it is the end. Here we go, Scotty, the finish on Chiefs Radio.
A 51-yarder officially to try to win it by Butker. 25-23 Cincinnati. Placement is down. Butker's kick. Leg through. It is high enough, and it is good! Kansas City! Harrison Butker, another clutch kick against the Bengals. And the Chiefs win it at the buzzer. 26-25. And the Chiefs go to 2-0 on the year.
Yeah, I don't have anything nice to say, so I'm going to say nothing at all. That's what I've been taught here at SportsGrid and from my mother. If you don't have anything nice to say nothing.
Well, that seemed to be also the case for Jamar Chase after the game, Scotty. Of course, Chase did a lot of talking on Thursday and Friday last week as we were heading into the weekend. Didn't want to talk as much yesterday, Scotty. Of course, only 4 catches for 35 yards in the game for Chase, and I'm sure you remember that personal foul that he got for giving the ref the business in the fourth quarter of that game as well that pushed him back. He, of course, said some very nasty words to the ref, and the ref flagged him. Here's Chase afterwards, Scotty. Didn't really want to talk about anything, especially that play where he got the flag for the personal foul.
You let mom get away?
It doesn't feel great losing.
Can you tell us what happened on the penalty?
I don't know. You got to ask defense. I wasn't on the field.
Oh, no, the one when you got flagged.
I ain't talking about it.
There you go, hot shot. I mean, he really is kind of a D, isn't he? So let's just face facts. I have said way worse things than him to referees. And remember, where I come from, quote, refs are terrorists, end quote.
Well, look, here's all that I'll say to you. And we love watching the Bengals lose. You said it at the beginning of the show. I mean, you're not going to shed any tears if the Bengals are 0-2. No. And I know that they have now 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of the season under Taylor. They always seem to turn it around after the second week. I'll say this, Scotty. Maybe this year's a little different because that guy and Higgins aren't not being out there. And I know he's out there, but 4 catches for 35 yards. That's not Jamar Chase, nor was the week before. If they're not getting the usual production from those two guys, it might not be the same as the last few years where out of nowhere, all right, we're 0-2, let's turn it on, and suddenly everything's going to be all right. I admit they have time to turn it around, but I think this team's a little bit different this year.
Well, I'll just say this. I actually, what I saw yesterday, they're a really good team. I thought they had the Chiefs right where they wanted them, and they blew it on that penalty. That guy sat on the bench sulking afterwards because he cost them the game. Let's just call a spade a spade. He cost them the game. It was a stupid penalty. 4th and 16. All you had to do was get off the field. The game was over, and instead you handed them a win. I think they're better than the 0-2. I believe in that team that they have talent because they literally should have won that game. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Next, the Ravens also off. Oh, by the way, with the Chiefs before we go, some injury stuff here. Pacheco, fractured fibula, will miss some time. He ain't gonna be back anytime soon. Fractured fibulas are no joke, Scotty. That's gonna take some time to heal for Isaiah Pacheco. And Hollywood Brown is expected.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Like I heard that it's more than just a fibula, that it's gone down into his ankle ligaments and everything else. All I know is that nothing bad ever happens to them. So cry me a river. I really don't care. I'll be honest with you at all about his injury or anyone else's and all the calls they get. And I mean, the NFL just can't get enough of them. And then when the game was over, the first thing, of course, that happened, they showed Taylor Swift up in the luxury suite. I'm sick and tired
after
of it.
He had one catch.
Listen, there is nothing I want more. I'm in the north with the Steelers, so the Ravens and Bengals losing that brings me tremendous joy. But I would much rather deal with them and play them twice than to watch the Kansas City Chiefs get every call all week, every year, and go back to another Super Bowl. If I have to go to, I told you, New Orleans and talk about them again, I don't even want to go.
I don't blame you. It's very hard. But unfortunately for us, they're probably going to be there again. Ravens are 0-2, as you mentioned. They lose their home opener. Of course, they were the biggest favorite of the day, and they did not get the job done, 26-23. They had a 10-point lead early in the fourth quarter. Minshew mania, Scotty, as Gardner Minshew leads the Raiders to the win. Some big catches by rookie tight end Brock Bowers. Devontae Adams caught the tying touchdown. Carlson with the go-ahead field goal. So, John Harbaugh, 0-2 Ravens. He says, nothing to worry about. We got a whole season to play.
Disappointing loss, tough loss. Could have gone our way for sure, but we didn't get the job done. 0-2. We are going to play a 17-game season, and we will be defined by the next 15 games. So that's going to be our objective, to play the best 15 games we can, be the best football team we can be. And if we do that, then we're going to have a really good season, have a shot to win a lot of games and get in the playoffs and make a run. So that's what we have to do. Big picture, short term, we got to go back and look at every little thing, continue to clean up the things that we know we can clean up and get better at that make a difference in games, and we'll continue to work very hard to do that.
I saw my buddy JT DeBrick called me in Vegas. We were gonna hook up at the fight, but there was 20,000 maniacs at that fight. I could no more find him than anyone else. And the reality is, he is the biggest Raider fan in the world, and he works for the Raiders and does all the pregame, postgame, and everything else. And I saw him losing his mind when they won that game. I saw a video of him just losing his mind. He loves that Raider team so much. That was a huge win for the Raiders.
Huge win indeed, as they go to 1-1 now on the year. Nice job by Minshew and the crew. And that defense, Scotty, some really big plays from Max Crosby in that game. We know how important he is. All right, we'll come back and we'll go through some more, including the Texans beating the Bears last night. And yes, the Steelers 2-0 after 2 road wins, getting it done in Denver yesterday as they head back to the place the Steelers play this week.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night, I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of a week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was Lincoln! But he had that program. It was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yeah!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
I got to be honest, Mike, all the talk about the Texans, and I know they're 2-0, and I know they're off and running. I know they're in first, and I know they're, allegedly this really good team. And I think it's festered off of last year. They had such a great season, and everything fell in place for them and for Stroud, and I do think Stroud is ultra talented. There's no doubt. I think Nico Collins, I think Diggs, they have a lot of talent, and they have a defense. They have everything, good coaching, you name it. But they couldn't get rid of that team last night. After all that, shenanigans of how great they are. These two announcers last night in Collinsworth, Christ, I thought I was in an orgy listening to this guy talk about how great they are. And they had 19 points. Okay, so everyone needs to calm the F down and quit handing them the Super Bowl already. I think the overreaction to games to me is the thing that stands out most to me every week. It's like the Cowboys are finished. Their season's over. The Texans are the greatest team on earth. Greatest team on earth, scored 19 points. The Bears, we can make fun of them all they want, but in the second half, they were in that game. They had every chance in the world to win that game, and they didn't. But their defense is tough. And I would agree with you. In the break, you said, Caleb Williams thought he was playing in a college football game. But, let's calm down on, hoisting trophies already for the Texans. If Stroud's that great, well, where was all the offense in the second half?
I'm with you, actually, and it's a great point. You don't walk away from that game thinking, oh, man, this Texan team is so great. I didn't walk away from that game thinking that. And I was like – I wanted that. The game was so boring. I wanted to check out halfway through the third quarter. I was trying, I was dozing, but I couldn't because like Gabe, I had the Texans in the knockout, so I wanted to see it through because they couldn't put them away and they kept messing around with them, so it forced me to stay up and watch. I did not walk away impressed with Houston, and they play the Vikings next week. So you got two 2-0 teams, Houston and Minnesota. That game's in Minnie, Scotty. So we'll see the Texans go on the road there. And the Vikings have played well, too, which we'll get to in a moment. Let's talk about Caleb Williams. Of course, they lose this game 19-13. Last week, Williams didn't have good stats, and he turned the ball over. This week, Scotty, he didn't have good stats again, but he did turn the ball over. 174, two interceptions he threw, both which were very costly. And the thing for me is, like I said to you in the break, it just seemed like he was kind of running all over the place, thinking that he was going to escape every rush and throw the ball 60 yards downfield and find some wide open guy like he was playing what you said, Washington State on a Saturday night in the Pac-12, and it just wasn't happening for him. Here is Caleb Williams.
Not coming out with a win, not executing, when we needed to as a team. Myself throwing 2 interceptions. It's not something that I've done. Something that I do is turn the ball over. It's not really my thing. So I think those things probably the things that I'm most frustrated about.
Listen, here's a newsflash for you, kid. It's going to happen every week because this is pain day. This is the NFL. This is not high school. This is not college. This is people willing to kill you for that paycheck. And I'm throwing 3 already. I mean, it's going to be every week because this is a different level of sophistication. This is football at the highest level, and he's there. He deserves to be there. I won't deny it that he should be in the league, but crowning him the rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, the coach of the year, and the tickets that we've seen on the Bears to go to the Super Bowl is laughable. All of the above. Laughable to me. All of the above. This is a team and franchise, and they never get it done. They've gotten it done in 1985, and I was at the game. That was the best defense I ever saw in my life. In fact, better than the Steel Curtain in the 70s. I'll admit it. I thought the Bears in 85, the best defense I ever saw. They have never been close to that since, and they aren't that now. And they have a good defense now, and it's not half of the defense of the 85 Bears. Everyone that thinks that defense now is better than the 85 Bears, you're all stupid.
And look, I give them credit for one thing. They tried to put some shiny new toys around him coming into the league. Like they traded for Keenan Allen, although he never plays. They signed Swift. They drafted Dunze. They tried to put a lot of offense. There's a problem, though, Scotty. You need guys who block, too. Those guys that stand in front of them, they got to block. And they don't have anybody that's very good at that right now either. And here's the other thing they have. They have a bad coach. And I don't care how talented you are. If you're a first-round quarterback or a top-5 quarterback, if you don't got a good coach and a good system with you, it can get ugly fast. And
like how about that coaching staff yesterday, thinking that Diggs catch wasn't a catch. Like, you're all standing right there, and you're that stupid that you waste that red flag on that call? That guy was so in, it wasn't even funny. And he caught it. He had it in one hand. I mean, it was automatic, and they still threw the red flag. At some level, you have to be smarter than to risk it all that early on a guy that makes a great play. And you don't like the call. You mean the entire coaching staff? No one said to him he caught it, and you still throw the red flag? That's why that guy isn't a good coach.
Yeah, and I think he's also just another one of these guys who, it doesn't matter who the OC is, he wants to play conservative. He wants to do things like that. It doesn't work. And I'm really still surprised that they didn't attach somebody new with him coming into the league. You were getting the number 1 overall pick. You were getting Caleb Williams. Why wouldn't you have him start fresh with someone on an offensive mind type of thing instead of they keep Eberflus, which is just, and then you're just going to start over next year when you fire him, because you're going to fire him when it goes bad this year, and then you're going to bring the offensive guy in. And Williams is going to have to start all over, kind of like what Trevor Lawrence did a couple years ago, although Lawrence stinks now, too. I know you watched him.
I don't know.
He's
that
no
defense
good anyway.
is good. They have a good enough defense, I think, to possibly go 500.
It's very possible. We'll come back. I have for you the first Steeler touchdown of the season yesterday in Denver. Let's go.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoff.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
All right, Carver High, you got the big fella, Washington. How about the size of that tight end? I mean, my God, he could be in the NBA.
Look, Steelers won the first game of the season without a touchdown. Of course, they had all those Boswell field goals and a great defensive effort. Another great defensive effort in Denver yesterday. But this time they get in the end zone. And I know we'd think it would probably be Pickens or Najee Harris or maybe Fields running it in or maybe Freiermuth. No, Scotty. Darnell Washington scoring the Steelers' first touchdown of the season on CBS.
Fields to the end zone. It's caught. Washington for the Steelers touchdown.
Listen, honestly, he is enormous, that guy. He is
Big
so
guy.
huge. I remember Benny Cunningham back in the day on all those championship teams, and he was big. And but not as big as this guy. I mean, this guy's like 6'8", 300 pounds. I mean, he means business. And if he gets going with a head of steam, he will truck you. I tell you, that's 300 pounds of F you.
You never want to run into that. 300 pounds of that is never ideal for anybody. So, of course, the Steelers are going to head home to play the Chargers next week, which I believe you'll be in attendance, right? I mean,
Yes,
you'll
sir.
be in attendance for that game.
Yes, sir.
Steelers are 1.5-point favorites as of right now. Now, who's going to be the quarterback? Of course, Fields is 2-0. Pretty hard to take him out. Tomlin was not ready to talk about that after the game yesterday, Scotty, but he was willing to say he's starting to learn a lot about Fields.
You know, I think with each passing day, I'm learning more about him. I just think that there's no substitute for a relationship. You go through something together, you learn about yourselves and each other. And so it's just been a good process. Looking forward to it, continuing.
Listen, in God's name, what are you doing here? This isn't even a decision. You play him until he fails. That's it. And I think Russ looks fantastic on the sideline with a headset on and helping out until he's needed. You cannot go to this guy. First of all, we've already discussed this. My man is an ankle breaker. And Russell Wilson can no more run the ball than I can wear a dress. Honestly, this guy is the starter until otherwise mentioned. I'm not having it. Just play him until he screws it up.
I'm with you. I think he'll be the starter this week against the Chargers at the place the Steelers
Carver High, you
play.
will never see me in a dress. I don't care what anyone thinks of my comment. As you know, I do not wear dresses.
I know that. The Saints beat up the Cowboys in Dallas, 44-19. What a day, Scotty, for Alvin Kamara. Not one, not two, not three. The Grand Slam on Fox.
Here's Kamara running right side. Kamara surges in for the touchdown.
Try to gain it here on second down.
Pressure coming. They set up a screen. Oh, there's a lot of room. Alvin Kamara, room to roll. Alvin Kamara's going to score. Touchdown. Kamara, big hole, left side. Alvin Kamara sprinting towards the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kamara looking for his 4th touchdown of the game. Stays on his feet. Alvin Kamara's got 4.
Can you imagine on Fantasy Sports Today on SportsGrid if somebody had Kamara, how many points you had yesterday?
He won me a league. I know that because I had Kamara on one of my teams, and I didn't get much from Josh Allen on Thursday night. So Kamara definitely picked up the slack for him. Big job there from Kamara, and the Saints are now 2-0, and they've scored a ton of points. Of course, Scotty, whenever you get a big Dallas loss, you got to go find Jerry downstairs in the hallway. We got to make sure we hear from Jerry after any big loss. Here's the owner.
Well, coaches use times like this to do a lot of teaching and do a lot of instructing if you're a football player. So you don't get the luxury of just saying, I'm just moving on.
Is that the Terminator behind him?
I can't tell you in the life that I've said, I'm moving on. I'm forgetting that one and moving on. And as I'm here to attest that there is life after situations that we've ran into today. And we're better than this. This team's better than this. We'll have a better press conference in the future.
Listen, they get paid millions, these players. I don't know about teaching moments in the NFL. Like, honestly, at this level, they don't listen to anybody. They listen to their paycheck. How many zeros are on there? Teaching. Like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. This is a great moment to teach them what? Like, that's laughable. Like in the NBA, I told you, they don't listen to the coach. Ever, these pros. They don't listen to coaches. They listen to coaches when you're in high school and college. Let's stop with all the nonsense.
And where was the mighty Dallas D yesterday, Scotty? Micah Parsons, all these guys. I mean, they got destroyed by the Saints in that game.
It was ugly.
There's going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The early line